He's the most interesting, complex, mystical role I think that an actor could ever try to play. So for me, it was and continues to be the greatest challenge of my career and of also my life.
La saison 3 de The Chosen sort. Les épisodes ont été vus 543 millions de fois dans le monde entier. Est-ce que vous vous attendiez à ce succès?
You always hope to have the kind of success that we're having with The Chosen, to have as many viewers and to have as much impact as the show is having, but I don't think we ever expected. But we're grateful for it, and it's really reaching so many people all over the world.
La série The Chosen a l'ambition du coup de mettre en scène les Évangiles, la vie de Jésus. Est-ce que vous sentez que ce succès incroyable, ça va de pair avec une recherche peut-être d'intériorité de la part des gens? Enfin, est-ce qu'en fait les personnes ont été touchées parce qu'elles recherchent quelque chose?
I think people really relate to so many characters in the show. I think with such a diversity of personalities, there's someone in the show, in the cast, that people in the audience can always relate to and identify with. We see these people go through struggles, just like we do today. So I think when they can see a reflection of themselves, it offers them a way to connect and to deal with their own trials in their life.
Pourquoi vous avez accepté, vous, ce rôle de Jésus de Nazareth?
And I had worked with the director for a few short films previous to the series. And I love the character, I love Jesus. He's the most interesting, complex, mystical role I think that an actor could ever try to play. So for me, it was and continues to be the greatest challenge of my career and of also my life.
Justement, comment on se prépare à un rôle comme ça? Comment on se prépare à incarner Jésus?
It begins with prayer. Every season we film the show, I always start with a lot of prayer and meditation. Obviously, the scriptures inform me tremendously. And then I read about the concepts behind the scriptures, the meaning behind the scriptures, just to better understand what the stories mean to the people that were hearing them and how they can relate to us today. But it all starts with prayer.
Et est-ce que ça a commencé par la prière dès la saison 1 ou est-ce que votre rapport justement au personnage a évolué au fil des saisons? Est-ce que vous vous êtes attaché plus au personnage? Est-ce que vous avez creusé plus votre spiritualité en incarnant Jésus?
I think the first prayer that I made when I booked the show was a prayer of thanks because I had some work, at least for a few episodes. And then as the show continued to become successful and popular, and we knew we were going to continue for 7 seasons, the prayer starts to shift, and then it's how can I get closer to the character of Jesus every season? How can I find more in his character to portray and keep the character interesting on a television show and still stay within the guidelines of what we know to be true about Jesus? So it continues to be a great challenge for me.
Je pensais à une phrase d'un acteur français, Gérard Depardieu, qui disait que pour être un bon acteur, il faut avoir beaucoup vécu. Est-ce qu'il faut avoir beaucoup vécu pour incarner Jésus?
There's a director that told me when I first started out, it takes 15 years to be an overnight success, or 20, depending on who you talk to. For me, from the time I did my first job as an actor to the time I booked The Chosen was exactly 20 years. And I think as I continue to grow as a person, my work becomes more informed by my humanity, which I think is only a good thing. So I would agree with Gerard. He hits it right. It's right on the money.
Est-ce qu'il faut avoir la foi pour incarner Jésus?
I think if you want to play Jesus well, it helps. I think a lot of the feedback that I've received about playing the character or people's response to the character is often built on my foundation of faith that I bring to the character. If you don't have that, you can sense it. So some of my favorite portrayals of Jesus in movies and TV history happen to be by folks who have had a relationship like Jim Caviezel. To me, what he did in The Passion of the Christ was profound. And he has a deep and profound relationship with Jesus as well. So I think it definitely informs the character. And it just makes it more authentic.
Comment est-ce que vous êtes regardé dans le milieu des acteurs? Est-ce que c'est étonnant de regarder Jésus? Est-ce que ça fait poser des questions justement sur la foi dans vos amis, dans le milieu du cinéma?
I don't know. I haven't had too many conversations with other actors about the role or about what I'm doing. I think a lot of people assume it can be really difficult, and the pressure of being the face of Jesus, as people now can kind of relate to him. And sometimes there is that pressure, but I can't really think of it in those terms. So to me, I'm just really, really happy to be able to do what I love and play a character that is so life-giving to so many people.
Comment vous abordez la suite de votre carrière après un rôle aussi fort, aussi incarné? C'est vrai que quand on voit votre visage maintenant, on pense à ça, on pense à ce rôle.
I have to offer my career to God in the same way that I got this role. Before I booked this role, I was ready to walk away from the business, really. And when I let go of my expectations, that's when this role came through. And so I continue to do that now while working as an actor. I think whatever I'm meant to do that makes sense and resonates with me, it's going to find me. I won't have to search for it as much as I used to think I would have to search for a role. So I'm good to kind of go where God is leading me.
À la fois, c'est votre travail, et est-ce qu'en même temps, vous vous sentez investi un peu d'une mission par ce rôle?
Absolutely, 100%. I think it's become much bigger than just a role for me, and I feel very honored and humbled and fortunate to be able to steward this opportunity and make Jesus more well-known to people, to introduce him to people that don't know who he is, and to allow them to get a taste of how profoundly he changed the world for the better, and how he can still change the world through personal relationship with him today.